Vevor really liked my vacuum sealer video, I guess, so they set me up with an account that I can request anything that I want on their website for a sample if I make a video of it. So I found this one item that I had never seen or never heard of in one of their Google ads and clicked it and I requested it, and 2 days later, here it is. This is just really, I had no idea what it was a couple days ago, but I'll tell you, it's really a fun machine to have. And what it is, it's a dot peen marker, they call it. It came really packaged well, as everything I've gotten from them so far. You can see they do nice heavy cardboard foam packaging. And it was all assembled except for one cable that had to be plugged in, so real simple assembly. And all it is, it's like a little CNC woodpecker. Well, it's not a woodpecker, it's got a little metal punch, but it just punches little dots close together to label things. Pretty amazing. It's real simple. You just have to plug it in, plug that cable in, and then a USB connector goes to your PC to control it, because it is a CNC machine. It came with an extra little pin for marking and some magnets, which I found out after using them, magnets aren't the best thing for marking, holding things, but came with good instructions for installing everything and, you know, getting things going. But I really didn't bother reading them. I only got excited when I finally saw that they included the schematic, so if anything went wrong, you could easily figure it out. So that's what it, you know, looked like coming out of the box. And I did order some chain and some of these little dog tags, which I was going to do on my laser, but then I realized you really can't do a good job on aluminum and stuff like that with a laser. So I saw this and I said, boy, there's going to be a good chance to try it out. And there's the magnet, made the whole thing's in place, but the thing I found out was magnets slip sideways very easily. Now it came with a USB drive that had the software on it, and basically you just have to click in there until you get to the setup for Windows, and this is on Windows 10, and it works on Windows 11 too. I've tried it, and just got to kind of follow through the setup. And then you have to go back, and there's this other thing you click on, and you set up the machine. You're supposed to change the size to 300 by 200, but I couldn't get that to stay. So it thinks I have a smaller machine, but I'll figure it out someday. And I do get an error when I'm starting it up, because I think this is a very old piece of software made for, you know, different systems, but it does work. And they tell you to get that little pin 1 millimeter above the surface of whatever you're going to mark. So I got some feeler gauges that were 1 millimeter thick, and then hold it in place with the magnets. And this is actually my first attempt at ever trying anything like this. And there it is. Just pretty amazing. Oops, I missed. I had it off. The software is very crude, and I haven't made up templates of what I'm doing yet. So this is kind of a trial and error right now. But you can see I've got some single line text on the top, double line text here, just trying to see what it is. It takes all your fonts in your system and, you know, converts them over to work with this machine. It's really pretty cool. Look at it. You know, it does a really great job. And you can barely tell that it's made up out of dots unless you look really close. But there was my first attempt, and that was, I started with a label that had some scratches on it. So I'm going to flip it over and work on the other side. And that time I did the double text, and I changed to a different font. And actually I got it pretty much lined up. And it, you know, it is quite noisy. It sounds like a woodpecker going on off in my shop, but you know, it didn't really bother me that much. Oops. And there you can see what I mean about magnets slip sideways. You can see the magnets starting to move. And goodbye, we're done. So I decided to try double-sided tape like I used on my CNC routers, and you know, I figured it would work here, and actually it worked really good. So I just cut a piece, put it down first, and then I went back and engraved, and really didn't need the magnets. I just put them there. But you can see nothing, when it's taped down good, nothing moves or bows or anything. It really does come out beautiful. And it's just one of those fun to use machines that's relaxing and not frustrating, because you don't have to mess with all kinds of speeds and this and feeds and that. You know, it's just easy to use, I found. Software is a little confusing, but you'll get used to it. So there it is. Finally got a good one. And now I'm going to go back and do the final version, and I'm going to do them both on both sides. And now I got everything centered where I wanted it. And let's do the back side too. So you'll get to meet Clyde in a couple minutes. But this is the first one that came out, and I left that plastic on. It made it easier if the tape stuck too hard or anything to just pop it off. Plus it kept it from getting scratched up while I was doing it. So you can do the tags, and especially if you're going to give them away or anything, you leave the plastic on. And there it is. That's an aluminum tag that I'm using. It's supposed to work on other metals, but I'm probably just going to stick to aluminum with it because I like the way it does it. So now we're going to do the next one, and I'm putting name, date, and species on each one. That's the date they were made, and you can see this just has 2 buttons on the front, stop and start, and has this little knob you turn for weak, middle, and strong. But I just left it on weak. It seems to work good there, so I'm not going to mess. So I just went through one after the next. Once you get get it set up, you just change the name and stuff, and it's real quick to switch over, and whatever's on the screen when you push that start button, that's what you're going to print out. So you have to make sure that it's all ready to go before you touch that button. And there's Hamlet's tag, and then I got my chain out. I bought this a while ago, and I was going to use it for to make them with the laser, but this is much nicer, I think. It's just stainless steel. I bought the stainless steel beads, and I'll show you it works pretty good. So now I decided to make a keychain, and I just grabbed my logo out and opened it up there, put it in there, and I sized it to fit on one, just to see what artwork should come out looking like. And you can see it, I think it really did a nice job. So that one's a little off center because, as I said, I'm just playing with it now, and I did waste a couple of them trying to get things centered, but in the future I'll do templates to work over so I know exactly where the text goes and where everything is. So there it is. Came out nice. I just had to go back and center it, and here I'm doing the other side. So basically it was really fun, and so glad that I found this, because I would have never known that existed, and it's really going to be useful in when you make tools and stuff like that, marking things permanently. It's a lot easier to use than a laser trying to, set it up, draw it. So then I took one of my wife's artworks. That was a poem. That was a 10-inch by 14-inch artwork. And I shrunk it down to the size of one of these business cards here. I said, okay, let's see how little this thing will go. And I was amazed at the job that it did, except for I found out you can't do thin metal on it. It stresses it too much, and it deforms these thin aluminum cards like a potato chip. Once a card starts warping up off the piece, it no longer marks quite right. You can see it's all different depths and stuff. So if it was on a thicker piece, it would have been beautiful. Those are a little bit over 1 millimeter high letters there. And you can actually, well, I can't get it in focus, but you can actually read them pretty good. So it's pretty amazing. It really is amazing. So that's that. And then I grabbed another piece of a little bit thicker aluminum, but it still was, only a couple thousand stick to try to mark on and see what happened with that. And I will say the same thing happened. The material was, you know, only a couple thousands, and you can see where it warped up some on the U and the R are a little different color, because once it comes up off the material, it starts bouncing. There it is. And it just doesn't do the same. But if you did have a thicker piece of aluminum, or you had it really taped down good, it probably would have worked. Then I grabbed some bar stock here, and there's some little figures and shapes and stuff in the software. But the cool thing was there's like a 60mm long ruler in the software you can just throw down. It's an accurate metric ruler, and I can see this being really useful for on machine tools and stuff for adjusting things. And it's hard to see with the glare, but that's it. Then I grabbed a steel washer, and that was a second pass on it. The first pass happened so fast I didn't get the camera turned on, so I just, you know, hit the start again. Came out beautiful though. And another thing I'm going to make is a bunch of these ice tags for in case of emergency numbers. You can put 6 numbers on it, names and stuff. And at our age, it's good to have, you know, something like that, I figure. But anyhow, let's go upstairs and let you meet the rest of the family I made these tags for. Now, my wife, you know, she knits these little or crochets these little animals. And I've had her do a couple that I'm keeping. She's not giving away for me. So this one here is Bob the beaver. He's the first new member of our family. And I figure once I put tags on them, if anything happens to us, people always know their name. They'll never change them, hopefully. So there's Bob. He's official now. All ready to go to work on a tree in the backyard. And then there's this little hamster. Well, it would look like a chipmunk to me, but this Hamlet, the hamster, and he's a strawberry stealer. You can see he's got a couple strawberries in his hand. So this is kind of like going into knighthood when you get your little tag here. And this one here is Clyde, and that's a face that you'll probably never forget now that you've seen it. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night just, you know, looking at it, I think. But anyhow, Clyde's an orangutan, and he's got his banana there, and he's just some emotional support, I guess. We could call him a support animal. He's really cute. And don't forget Cyril the squirrel. He's our little gardener. He, you know, most of the squirrels steal the veggies from the garden, but this one here actually grows them, so let's dub him Cyril. And those little chains really are cute for these things. They work really good, and they're stainless so they won't rust when they touch your body. And he's got some beets and carrots that he's already grown this season, so he's far ahead of me. Little wheelbarrow there too. Pretty cute. Check out that tail. What a bushy, amazing tail. Pretty cool, these animals that she makes. It really does a nice job on them. So anyhow, you know, that's what I made those dog tags for. And you can see her orchids are in bloom. And there's the rest of the family. All official now. They sure are cute. It's fun having the little tags on them. It's going to be a fun machine to make tags for the grandkids and stuff too, I can see. And here's some more animals that she's working on to send to our local sheriff's department. She's got a couple more to make before we bring this batch down and donate them. And there's our puppies, the 2 little dogs that she knitted up. And I'm making some special tags for them. I'm waiting for them to come in. But I went back down in the shop then, and one thing I really wanted to try was plastic. I picked up a piece of Lexan that I had. I'm not sure it would work with acrylic because that shatters. And I decided to just try to run the logo in Lexan, and it pretty much amazed me. It's not a deep etching or anything. It's just kind of like a pushing of the plastic, and really did come out looking nice. I was really amazed. I didn't think you could do plastic with these things, but probably you can't do acrylic. But you know, with anything that's Lexan and a little bit flexible, looks like it'll work good and does a very beautiful job. And I made tags for a joke for a forum that I'm on. And, you know, it's really easy once you get going on this thing to just throw some text down, hit the button, go, and you're done. It's, you know, really quick, no problems, no frustration at all, I'll put it. Very easy to run. I had no problems with it at all. So, you know, I was really pretty amazed. I don't know how long it'll last or anything, but I think it's pretty amazing. I think it does have a 1-year warranty at least on it. And that plastic can be a little tough to get started, but, you know, it does do a good job of protecting them. And let's look at the software quickly, and you can see it's a really super simple, probably a 20-year-old text editor, and it's just got 3 basic screens where you can apply text and pictures or barcodes and stuff like that. And then another one, you can typeset them, they call it, where you can make some changes to them and, you know, move things around and stretch and shrink and all kinds of things. And then there's just another button you click on to open up a print window, and you can use that to print, or you can use the button on the machine. So it's really, you know, it's really crude old software, but once you get used to it, it's fairly easy to use, and it does use all your system fonts, it looks like, and just converts them to .Peen fonts for somehow. So pretty much there you can see there's just 3 screens you go through. And I do get errors when I start it, but it still seems to work. And as I said before, first thing you want to do is set it up, and you can see it did not retain the 300 by 200, so I've got to look into that. And then the USB driver has to be installed. I didn't install that the first time I tried it, and I had nothing but problems. I couldn't get it running. So make sure you install the USB driver if you get one of these type machines. And then just have fun. I mean, it really was fun, and just kind of another tool/toy for my shop. And I got a lot of good ideas for this in the future. So, you know, it looks like I'll you know, keep updating it and how it works and if there's any other problems. But really, I'd got to thank Vevor for letting me, you know, choose something like this. It's just an oddball machine that I had no idea existed, and you probably won't find many videos about. So I think just wanted to show what it would do, and I just wanted to learn what it would do was a big thing. And there it is. The results are amazing. So if anybody else has any things that they want to see how they work that Vevor makes or anything, you can you know, just leave it in the comment. I can try to see if I can get one and maybe sneak in a video. And oh yeah, that face right there, take one good last look at it, because it's going to be stuck in your head forever now. It's such a cute little face. And there's the rest of the family. And you know, it was fun. This was a fun video to make. I really enjoyed it. Didn't have much frustration or learning to do for it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.